Hey guys, good morning. This is going to be the tissue care special event, okay? So the first thing we need, you will always need a foam roller. The controversy aside, does it work, does it not work? It is a great tool to add circulation into the body and help release tension in tissue that has been working. So, or sitting. It can be, if tissue just sits idle, it becomes less hydrated with fluid, and then it becomes less mobile. If you go running in the mountains, it will also become dehydrated and then less mobile. So we're always after those two things. We're after adding hydration into the tissue, and we're also looking for more mobility in our joints. And we just need to do that in a really systematic way. Okay, so a foam roller is going to be really good, and there's going to be proactive foam rolling, which is getting you ready and prepared for training, and then there's going to be reactive. And these are, we can even do reactive foam rolling pre-training or pre-exercise because it'll set us up for success, and also acknowledge that we've already done some work that might have added some, decreased our mobility, and thus we're just not going to move as well going into that training session. So we're going to start on the back side of the body, which to me is very reactive. The tightness on the back side is when your body's working hard against gravity. So first thing we're going to do is start at the bottom of the body, the lower leg, because it is the area that challenges the most in hydration because it is the furthest from the circulatory system. Okay, so let's start at the lower leg, and we're just going to windshield wiper lower leg. Nice and easy, just internally and externally rotating the hip as we apply gentle pressure using the foam roller. And you'll hear me use the word gentle pressure. This is not your mama's foam rolling where you should be crying. In my opinion, that is just a really, I don't know, it's almost like self-abuse. So let's just take the foam roller, let it sit in one place, and we're moving around the foam roller, just rolling along the bottom of the calf. I started a little bit early, so if you're just joining me, welcome. And we're just going to do a tissue care, a little bit of mobility for sure, because it's Mobility Monday, but I really want you to set you up for success using the foam roller down at the lower leg, just moving along the bottom part of the calf, which what lives down there is the soleus, which is a big decelerator of every single step. So just pay attention and just be able to describe what you're feeling to yourself and just really get to know your body. So the big muscles, the big superficial muscles on the lower leg are the gastrocnemius, or also the calf muscles. But also below that, we have the soleus. And the soleus, again, his primary responsibility and performance is deceleration of your body weight. So we need and want to take care of that. Let's take the foam roller right up to the sits bones. The sits bones are also known as the ischial tuberosities. So we're just going to kind of get on that foam roller onto the sits bones. That's where the hamstrings attach. And if you have an anterior tilt in your pelvis, which you probably do, we need to make sure we're paying attention. We're hydrating tissue. We're not extending the length of the hamstring at all, but we're just, well, we might just a little bit give it a chance. But right here, we just want to lean over onto the left butt. And let's get just below the sits bone and into the lateral aspect of the hamstring, just behind the IT band, if that makes sense to you. And then we're just going to go above the sits bone through the glute, and then just below the sits bone to that lateral hamstring, right behind the IT band. I think we decided many years ago that foam rolling your IT band doesn't really help. It's very, very thick band of tissue, connective tissue, that probably isn't going to be enhanced lengthwise. So if you've been told you have tight IT bands, that's a whole nother adventure. Don't worry about that right now. Just kind of stick to the plan here. We're on the sits bone. We're going just behind the IT band to the posterior. We're working lateral hamstring to the back, and then we can kind of go above the sits bone up into the glute. So we're working through that. We've also got a hand on the ground, and we're just alleviating some of the pressure from our own body weight. Okay, so just nice and easy. working the lateral aspect of the glute. Let's go one more time each side, and we're going to enhance it this time by taking the foot, right foot on left knee, and just kind of working through a little bit more of an open hip joint, and we can work a little bit more medial towards the sacrum. So now, right in here, we're just above the sits bone, right next to the sacrum, and just kind of working through there. That's where the glute max originates, and we're just going to work through that. And again, we're working towards the medial aspect of the body, so we're almost on the sacrum, that big bone that anchors the spine into the pelvis. So just working through the whole glute area, paying attention. How's that feel? It should feel a little dull and achy because you want your glutes to be working, but it shouldn't feel pinny. And if it feels pinny, again, that's a whole nother adventure towards getting the pelvis working in a much better way. And we want enhanced glute engagement and glute function to help protect the piriformis from having to act like a glute muscle. It's a stabilizer more than anything. Okay, so let's take the other side, the right ankle on the left knee. And if this is too intense, just take the foot off the knee, okay? It's not a requirement to do it exactly the same way. You can always regress this movement, make it a little bit easier. Okay, through the hip, lateral aspect of the hip. We're going to take that up next to the sacrum and just work through that full glute. This is very reactive in that it's just identifying what I did this weekend, which, honest answer, I didn't do a lot. But I'm still feeling a little bit of dull ache through there, and that gives me a little bit of an opportunity for better pelvic function. Okay, let's take that all the way up into the thoracic spine being everything that the ribs attach to. So we're just going to go right below the shoulder blades, hands behind the head, and just extend around that. And then you can toggle a little bit side to side, maybe get a little stretch in the chest. Take it around again, a little toggle. And good. From right there, we're not going to spend too much time foam rolling. You should be able to get through your foam rolling routine 10 to 12 minutes tops. Okay, let's bring the right knee up to the height of the right hip. And the foam roller is perpendicular, like make a cross. And we're working through the first third of the femur. So down by the knee, just working through the first third. Now, when we get right on that VMO, right there, we're just going to toggle into internal rotation. Right there. Just nice and easy. If you want more internal rotation, just drop your head, just like I did. 2, 3, 4, and it feels a little herky-jerky. Signal is a little bit less clear than usual. And then let's take it up to the middle of the femur. The middle 1/3. We're just going to work a little bit through those adductors. And then let's toggle through that as well, 5 times. 3, 4, 5. Good. When you start getting tightness in the tissue, you really decrease the body's capacity to work. So let's take that up into right up next to the pelvis, the first 1/3 of the femur. You can start to get into that hip into internal rotation, drive that hip down, and we're working into that big adductor magnus. Whew, that's tight. When there's tightness on the inside of the thigh, it means there's going to be lack of function on the outside of the thigh. So this is a concept that foundational concept that most of the training comes from. Okay, let's go left knee at the left height, the left knee at the height of the hip. We're working the first third on this next part. So the first thing is we're just going to roll through it just a little bit, and then we're just going to go internal rotation. This side works way better. Good. And there's less herky-jerky, and it could be because I released the other side. We don't really know. Okay, let's go into the middle third of the adductor. For me, that's much better on the left side. Good. And if there's nothing there and it feels fine, Just keep moving. Let's take it right up into the adductor magnus. Again, drive that hip down into the foam roller. Magnus is a little spicy on this side. There we go. And let's work into some internal rotation on this side. 2, 3, 4. I'm liking that. It's good. 5. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about really quick. So we've been through a pretty good scan with the body. Is 3 tools. First one is going to be our massage gun. If you don't have a massage gun, you're going to perturbate or move the tissue using your hands. Okay, so enhancing hydration of tissue, you're going to use your hands. If you have a massage tool, you can always come back to this session later. We're going to take the massage tool, of course mine is dead, and you're working only through the belly of the muscle. And you're just going to feather it through the belly. And you just want to shake it up, right? So we're just working that through the belly of the muscle. You can take it down into the soleus just a little bit, but feather it, you guys. You don't have to push on it. You don't need the highest level of the massage gun. You just need to feather, and you're just looking to shake up the tissue to enhance circulation. So mine's dead, so I'm just going to use my hands, and I just want you to just create jiggly through the muscle. Just shake it around. You can create some heat with a little bit of gentle rubbing, but you're going to shake it around. Let's go on to the other side. Shake it around. On the right side, you want your muscles to glide and slide. You don't want so much tightness that they can't just shiver around. Let's go the other side. Shake them around. Try and get some separation there. And you want to feel glide and slide. That's good. Okay, so that's the percussion tool. You can also use it very lightly, feathering through the glutes. You want to go into hip flexion when you do this because it's just going to give a little bit of a stretch and length to the glute. And we would work that through the glutes. Feather it. Don't add tension into an already tense situation, right? Okay, next one is my gua sha tool. I love my gua sha tool. This will set you back $9. I'm not a Graston therapist by any means, and I have mad respect for the work they do, but I can also scrape the tissue to help enhance circulation. So you can do this by getting a $9 gua sha tool, but if you don't want to, and you want to save the $9 so you can buy a latte, then, which is also money not well spent, you can have a spatula. And of course my spatula has a happy face on it. You can use just a nice piece of wood. Make sure it's not going to give you a splinter. And you want to just do some nice scraping through the tissue to help enhance circulation. And I really like it for the lower leg because it's not a really high circulatory area, right? So just moving through, you definitely want to get the front part of the ankle. Front part of the ankle. In English, we call that the retinaculum. It's a band of connective tissue and tendons that keeps the ankle in place. All right, so we're just going to work that through the whole lower leg. And then we also want to use that. So if you've had an ankle injury, broken ankle, sprained ankles, you want to enhance circulation using a gua sha tool or some kind of other tool. If you've had a knee issue in the past or you feel like your knees are tight, we're going to do the same kind of concept in the bottom third of the front side of the knee. And we're just working through that quad tendon. All of these quads come together in one minuscule little tendon that glides over the top of the kneecap. And we're just going to work through the patellar tendon, which is low, and the quad tendon, which is high. And we just want to work through that all around the knee. Don't go onto the kneecap unless you just really know what you're doing, know yourself well. But other than that, let's work the top and the bottom. Okay? And again, if you don't have a tool today, use your hands. That's why we have all of that parts of our body we can help ourselves. Okay? all around the knee. Enhance circulation. Don't push too hard. Just working through the whole part of the knee, okay? Now, let's move on to a little bit of hip stretch. You guys have heard of the couch stretch. Some of you guys take your heel and you plow it into your hip this way. So this is knee flexion. In my opinion, this is enough knee flexion in order to get a really nice stretch through the quad. So we're just going to elevate the back foot a little bit. If some is good, more isn't better. We're going to elevate the back foot just a little bit. Take a big breath. The right foot is up, the right hand is up, and we're just going to gently pull the pubic bone to belly button, drop the sacrum, getting into neutral pelvic position, and from right there, we're going to breathe. 5 big breaths. And good. And the reason we're breathing is because we're working the diaphragm and we're enhancing abdominal pressure with the breath, because every time you inhale, the diaphragm drops, okay? Other side, we're just going to elevate that foot just a little bit into the half kneeling position. Drop the sacrum, lift the pubic bone, and then left arm straight up. We've got 5 big breaths. And good. Okay, so obviously if you didn't have a way to elevate the foot with using, I have a Viper, a big Viper, you can always use another kind of tool. But just, I guess my point is, don't think, like that's my knee flexion. It doesn't need, my goal isn't to get my heel to my butt. All right? Okay, let's work some upper back. Going back into the half kneeling position. And again, if you don't like this position or you're just not comfortable, you can always stand. Just use a split stance. Okay? So if you don't like the half kneeling, go into a split stance. What we're going to do here, take 2 hands to the height of the heart. And I never want you to pull your shoulder blades, let them glide up over your ribs. Drop them down on your ribs from right here. Nice and tall, great posture. Let's go pubic bone to belly button. We're forcing this left side neutral. And all we're going to do is open one side and try and get as long as you can. And you can see my hip wants to open. Try not to let it open. Turn your head and you can get open. Okay? So we've got a big windmill move, horizontal windmill. Here we go. Open that up. 2. One more time. Open that up. Try and get as straight as you can with the arms. Reach through the elbows, pull the body apart, and come right back. We'll go into the other side. Half kneeling position. Drop your sacrum, lift your pubic bone, hands to the height of the heart. From right there, we're going to open. Let your head go. And you want to force this knee out. And then come back. And go again. 2. And go again. I can feel that in my left SI joint. That's sacroiliac. So the pelvis is made up of 2 sides. The right ilium and the left ilium. So thus we get the sacroiliac joint in the back. And I'm going to go one more time on this side. And again, learning to feel what you're feeling. I know my left SI joint can get a little bit finicky. That's my miss. That's where I'm likely to get out of alignment. And so when that happens, we know we need more mobility, more days just like this, where we give the chance to the body to be optimally moving. Okay, we're going to go the opposite way now. Right knee is up, hands to the height of the heart. We're gonna open up the right side, and this is a big reverse move. Okay, let the eyes follow the hand. A lot of proprioception here. Letting the eyes and the body work together. Stay nice and tall, one more. And good. All right, let's do the same thing on the other side. So we've got left knee up. We want the lower body to stay in one position. So we're separating the upper and lower body. We're definitely getting mobility through the core. And I do it like that because the core is defined all different ways by all different people. All right, for me, the core starts at the inside of the knee where the adductors attach and goes all the way up into the armpits. So the definition of core for me includes the lats, the fascia, and everything between the armpits and the inside of the knee. Because so many of the muscles that attach to the knee originate up in the pelvis. So for me, that dictates core. All right? So let's go hands to the height of the heart. Drop the shoulders. Open the body up. Look to the back. Come all the way back to the middle. Come all the way back. Whoa. Come all the way back to the middle. Open it up. There you go. And pull your fingertips apart. Create space through your biceps, through your elbows. Work through your wrists. Good job. All right, let's take it all the way up. We're going to go through a little bit of a gliding sequence, and then we're going to call it a mobility session. All right, so we'll go nice wide stance. Hands on the knees. We want to anchor the knees into the midline. We don't want them externally rotating to the outside. I don't want pressure on your fifth metatarsal. I want you to anchor in so the pressure is on the ball joint behind the big toe. Push the hips back, drive to one side. Right knee and right shoulder to the midline. Left knee and left shoulder to the midline. 2, 3, and 3. Now we're going to add a little hand driver. So we're going to shift to the left, reach with the right hand, and just turn. Shift to the right, reach with the left hand, and just turn. Three and 3. Let's shake that out for just a second. We're going to go right back to that. Internally rotate. Weight is on the ball joint of the big toe. Push the hips back. We're going to shift to the right, reach with the left, and then look up. 1, 1. 2, 2. 3, and 3. Okay, guys. Hopefully that was a good mobility session for you. I definitely feel ready to go to work. Working with some of the top athletes in the world today. Super excited. Also working with a lot of people just like you and me. People just trying to be the best version of themselves. I hope you have an amazing day. Thanks for starting yours with mine.